I find the pregnancy test while looking for my phone charger in Sophia's purse. The plastic stick sits at the bottom, wrapped in tissue paper like a dirty secret. My heart stops when I see the single line. Negative. But Sophia has been telling me she's pregnant for 3 months. My hands shake as I unwrap the test completely. The date on the wrapper is from last week. Fresh. Recent. Why would she take another test if she's already 3 months along? The apartment door opens. Sophia's heels click against the marble floor of our penthouse. I hear her humming that song she always hums when she's planning something. The same tune she hummed before she convinced me to give her access to my investment accounts. Alexander? Where are you, baby? I slip the test back into her purse. My heart pounds so loud I'm sure she can hear it from the hallway. 3 months of morning sickness performances. 3 months of doctor appointments I wasn't allowed to attend because she wanted to surprise me with ultrasound photos. 3 months of me walking on eggshells, treating her like precious glass. In the bedroom, I call back. She appears in the doorway. Her smile is perfect, practiced. The same smile she wore when she first told me about the pregnancy. I study her face now, looking for cracks in the performance. Did you have a good day at the office? She sits on the bed beside me. Her hand finds mine automatically. Fine. My voice sounds strange to my own ears. How was your doctor's appointment? Her eyes flicker. Just for a second. Oh, routine checkup? Everything's perfect with the baby? Can I see the ultrasound photos? I forgot to ask for copies this time, but next week, I promise. She leans against me. Her perfume makes my head spin. The doctor says we should start thinking about names. I want to believe her. God. I want to believe her so badly it physically hurts. But the test in her purse burns in my mind like a brand. Sophia. I turn to face her. Are you really pregnant? Something flashes across her face. Fear? Panic? Then her eyes fill with tears. How can you ask me that? Her voice breaks perfectly. After everything we've been through together? I know I haven't been showing much yet, but the doctor says that's normal for first pregnancies. She stands up, wrapping her arms around herself. I can't believe you don't trust me. The tears start falling. Real tears, not the fake ones she uses when she wants something expensive. These tears make me hate myself for doubting her. I'm sorry. I reach for her. I didn't mean. Maybe I should stay at Maya's tonight. Maya is her best friend, the one who encourages all of Sophia's worst impulses. I need space to think about whether you really want this baby. No, don't go. I pull her into my arms. I'm sorry. I'm just nervous about becoming a father. She melts against me. Her body fits perfectly against mine, the way it has for the past year and a half. The way it did when I first fell in love with her at that charity auction. I understand, she whispers. It's scary for me too, but we'll figure it out together. I hold her close and try to forget about the pregnancy test. Try to ignore the voice in my head that sounds suspiciously like my mother, warning me that Sophia came into my life too easily, too perfectly. But love makes you stupid. Love makes you ignore red flags the size of building billboards. 3 days later, I come home early from a meeting that ended sooner than expected. I hear Sophia's voice from the bedroom, talking on the phone. She sounds different, harder, more calculating than the soft, sweet voice she uses with me. Marcus, stop worrying. He believes everything I tell him. I freeze in the hallway. Marcus Webb. The name hits me like a physical blow. Marcus Webb owns Webb Industries, our biggest competitor. Marcus Webb, who tried to steal our government shipping contract last year and failed. The fake pregnancy story is working perfectly. Sophia continues. He's already moved me into the penthouse and given me access to his personal accounts. Once we're married, I'll have legal claim to half of everything. The world tilts sideways. I grab the wall to keep from falling. What do you mean, has he proposed yet? Marcus, we've been over this. I need to time it perfectly. After he signs over the company shares you need for the takeover. Company shares, takeover. The words echo in my head like gunshots. Of course I can get you the shipping route information. He keeps all his files in the home office. He trusts me completely. She laughs, and the sound is nothing like the gentle laugh I fell in love with. It's almost too easy. I back away from the bedroom door. My legs feel like water. My chest feels like someone's crushing it in a vice. Don't worry about the timeline. I'll have the marriage certificate and the inheritance rights locked down within 2 months. Then you can destroy Chen Shipping however you want. Chen Shipping. My family's company. 3 generations of blood, sweat, and dreams. My grandfather built it from nothing after immigrating from Shanghai. My father expanded it into one of the largest shipping companies in Asia, and I was supposed to be the 3rd generation to carry it forward. Yes, I understand the revenge is personal for you. Your family's company versus his family's company. But this isn't just about business anymore, Marcus. I'm enjoying this. I stumble to the living room. Sit down hard on the leather couch my mother helped me pick out. The same couch where Sophia and I planned our future together. Where she cried fake tears about wanting children. Where she performed loving girlfriend for 18 months. Everything makes sense now. The way she appeared at that charity auction, bidding on the same art piece I wanted. The way she accidentally spilled wine on my jacket, giving her an excuse to exchange numbers. The way she moved into my life so smoothly, like she'd been planning every step. Because she had been planning every step. My phone buzzes. A text from my assistant James. Shipping routes for the Taiwan project have been leaked to competitors. Need to discuss ASAP. The Taiwan project. The one Sophia overheard me discussing in the home office last week. The one she was so interested in, asking innocent questions about timing and logistics. I feel sick, actually physically sick. My parents trusted her. They welcomed her into family dinners. They started planning a wedding. My mother already bought fabric for a traditional Chinese wedding dress, and all of it was a lie. I try to gather evidence, but Sophia and Marcus have been too careful. No paper trails, no recorded conversations, no proof that would hold up in court. By the time I realize the scope of their plan, it's too late. Marcus strikes first. Our biggest client, the government shipping contract worth $200 million, gets canceled overnight. Someone leaked our security protocols and shipping routes. Someone gave our competitors the exact information they needed to underbid us. I know who that someone is. I'm so sorry, baby, Sophia says when I tell her about the contract. I know how hard you worked on that deal. She holds me while I rage about corporate espionage and unfair competition. Her sympathy feels genuine. Her concern seems real. She's become such a good actress that even knowing the truth, I almost believe her performance. But late at night, I hear her on the phone again, celebrating with Marcus. Planning the next phase. The next phase involves destroying my reputation. Sophia files a police report claiming I've been physically abusive. She shows them bruises on her arms that definitely weren't there the night before. She has photos of damage to our apartment that I've never seen. It started when the business began failing, she tells the investigating officers with tears streaming down her face. The stress made him violent. I'm afraid for my safety. A restraining order follows within 48 hours. I'm banned from my own apartment. Banned from contacting the woman I thought I loved. Meanwhile, she gains legal access to freeze my personal assets pending the domestic violence investigation. The scandal hits the business newspapers within a week. Chen Shipping Air under investigation for domestic violence. The article includes quotes from anonymous sources close to the situation, describing my pattern of controlling behavior. My parents read the article over breakfast in their Hong Kong penthouse. My mother calls me, crying so hard she can barely speak. Alexander, what have you done? How could this happen? Ma, it's not true. She's lying about everything. But the stress is too much for them. My father, 73 years old with a weak heart, collapses at his office the same day the article publishes. Heart attack. My mother finds him unconscious on his office floor. I fly to Hong Kong immediately, but the restraining order complicates everything. I can't access company funds for the medical bills. I can't make business decisions while under investigation. The company my family built over 60 years starts crumbling while my father fights for his life in intensive care. He dies without waking up. My mother suffers her own heart attack at the funeral. The stress, the scandal, the loss of her husband, it's too much. She survives but falls into a coma. The doctors say the chances of recovery are minimal. Chen Shipping collapses within 6 months. Without leadership, without access to frozen funds, without the government contracts that Marcus systematically destroyed, the company hemorrhages money until bankruptcy becomes inevitable. 2,000 employees lose their jobs. Families who depended on us for 3 generations are left with nothing. I watch it all happen from the outside, powerless to stop the destruction. The domestic violence charges are eventually dropped when Sophia's story falls apart under investigation. But by then, it doesn't matter. The damage is complete. My reputation is destroyed. My family legacy is gone. My parents are dead. I lose the penthouse, lose the cars, lose everything except the clothes on my back and a small savings account Sophia didn't know about. Meanwhile, she marries Marcus Webb in a ceremony that makes the society pages. The wedding costs more than most people's houses. She wears a dress that costs more than I have left in the world. I watch the news coverage from a cheap motel room, eating instant noodles and wondering how I could have been so blind. The final insult comes a year later. I'm living on the streets now, too proud to ask the few friends I have left for help. It's winter in Hong Kong, and I'm sleeping in doorways when the shelters are full. I see Sophia and Marcus on television giving an interview about their new charity foundation, the Marcus and Sophia Webb Foundation for Underprivileged Children. They're donating millions to help children whose parents have lost their jobs. Children whose parents lost their jobs when Chen shipping collapsed. The irony is so perfect it actually makes me laugh. A broken, bitter laugh that turns into a cough that won't stop. I die that night in the doorway of a closed electronics store. The television in the window display shows Marcus and Sophia's wedding photos on repeat. She looks radiant, happy, victorious. Everything I loved is gone. Everything my family built is gone. And the woman who destroyed it all gets to live happily ever after. Then, I opened my eyes and realized I had been reborn. I'm lying in my own bed. My bed in the penthouse overlooking Victoria Harbor. The silk sheets Sophia picked out last month are smooth against my skin. The expensive perfume she wears still lingers in the air. But that's impossible. I died in a doorway 2 years from now. I watched my reflection in that electronics store window, hollow-cheeked and gray-haired from stress and starvation. Now I look down at my hands. They're young again, smooth. The wedding ring callus I developed from twisting my father's ring isn't there yet. I know exactly what day this is. December 15th, 2 years ago. The morning after our 6-month anniversary dinner at Le Bernardin. The morning after Sophia first mentioned wanting children someday. Every detail is crystal clear in my memory. In about 30 minutes, she'll wake up and make coffee. She'll suggest we start trying for a baby when the timing is right. She'll begin planting the seeds for the fake pregnancy that destroys my entire life. But this time, I know what she's really planning. I get up carefully, trying not to wake her. My body feels strange, strong and healthy instead of broken and hollow. In the mirror, my face looks exactly like it did 2 years ago. No stress lines. No gray hair, no hollow cheeks from months of poverty. My mind is still older though, still carrying the weight of everything that's going to happen. Everything I need to prevent. I walk to the living room and look out at the city. Hong Kong spreads below me, glittering and beautiful. Somewhere out there, my parents are still alive. Somewhere out there, Chen shipping is still the family legacy my grandfather dreamed of. And somewhere out there, Marcus Webb is planning our destruction. Not this time. Sophia wakes up exactly when I remember her waking up. 7:30 a.m. She stretches like a cat and smiles at me with what I used to think was genuine affection. Now I can see the calculation behind her eyes. Good morning, handsome. She gets up and wraps my shirt around herself. Sleep well? Very well. I watch her every micro-expression. You? Like a baby. She stands on her tiptoes to kiss me. I'll make coffee. She pads to the kitchen in bare feet. I follow, leaning against the doorframe to watch her perform the loving girlfriend routine. Every movement is carefully designed to be attractive. Every gesture is calculated to make me fall deeper in love. I was thinking, she says while the coffee brews, about our conversation last night. Here it comes. The children conversation. The foundation for everything that destroys my life. About traveling more. I test her, changing the script. Her eyes flicker with confusion for just a second. In the original timeline, we talked about children over dinner. Not travel. Well, yes, travel would be nice. She recovers smoothly. But I meant about settling down, building a future together. What kind of future? I keep my voice neutral. Marriage, children, a real partnership. She turns to face me fully. I know it's early, but I can't help imagining what our babies would look like. The words are exactly the same. The delivery is exactly the same. But now I can see the performance for what it is. I've been thinking about that too. I lie smoothly. But maybe we should travel first. See the world before we settle down. Again, that flicker of confusion. She wasn't prepared for this response. Of course, she says quickly. Travel sounds wonderful. Where would you want to go? Singapore. I say without thinking. For business. I've been considering expanding Chen Shipping's operations there. It's a lie. But I watch her eyes light up with interest. Real interest, not performed interest. Singapore sounds exciting, she says. When were you thinking of going? Soon. Next month, maybe? I pour myself coffee. I'd love for you to come with me. I'd love that too. She's already thinking about how to report this to Marcus. I can practically see the wheels turning. It would be very romantic, I continue. Just the two of us. Away from work stress and family pressure. She's not really listening anymore. She's thinking about Singapore business opportunities and how Marcus can exploit them. I test her one more time. There's a new shipping contract bid coming up. Very confidential. We might discuss it during the trip. Her pupils dilate slightly. Bingo. That sounds important, she says casually. You work so hard, baby. You deserve this expansion. In my past life, I thought her interest in my work was sweet, supportive. Now I understand she was gathering intelligence from the very beginning. But this time, I'm ready for her. Over the next month, I begin my investigation carefully. I install security cameras throughout the penthouse, disguised as a new home security system. I hire a private investigator to follow Marcus Webb. I audit every financial transaction Sophia has access to. What I discover is worse than I remembered. Marcus has been planning this for 5 years. Ever since Chen Shipping beat Webb Industries for the Taiwan government contract, he's spent 5 years studying my family, my business, my personal life, looking for weaknesses. Sophia wasn't his first attempt. Before her, he sent Maya Chen. No relation, despite the name coincidence. Maya approached me at a business conference in Singapore 2 years before I met Sophia. I barely remembered her because she failed to make an impression. After Maya failed, Marcus recruited Sophia Williams. Real name Sophie Wang, originally from Shenzhen. Unemployed actress with gambling debts and no family connections, perfect for Marcus's purposes. He paid for her to reinvent herself. New name, new identity, new backstory. He sent her to acting classes and charm school. He studied my preferences in women and molded her accordingly. The charity auction where we met wasn't coincidence. Marcus bought her that dress. Marcus gave her the money to bid on the art piece I wanted. Marcus orchestrated our entire love story. But this time, I'm orchestrating something too. I plan a romantic trip to Singapore, just like I promised. But instead of bringing Sophia into my business dealings, I use the trip to move assets offshore. I transfer money to accounts in her name that she doesn't know about, money that will disappear from her reach the moment she betrays me. This hotel is incredible, Sophia says as we check into the Marina Bay Sands. You're spoiling me. You deserve to be spoiled. I kiss her forehead. I want to give you everything. What I'm really giving her is access to carefully planted false information, financial records that make Chen Shipping look vulnerable, shipping routes that don't actually exist, investment opportunities that are completely fictional. She photographs everything when she thinks I'm not looking. When we return to Hong Kong, I make another strategic move. I suggest we open separate bank accounts. For independence, I explain. I want you to feel financially secure on your own. She pretends to protest. But we're a team, Alexander. We should share everything. Of course we're a team, but I want you to have your own money too, your own investments. I transfer a substantial amount to her new account. Consider it an early engagement gift. Her eyes light up with greed. She thinks she's getting access to more of my money. She doesn't realize I'm actually cutting off her access to my real assets. By Valentine's Day, I've documented everything. Sophia's real identity, her connection to Marcus, financial records showing his payments to her, photos of them meeting in secret. But I don't confront them yet. Instead, I start rebuilding relationships I neglected while I was blinded by love. Victoria Huang calls me on a Tuesday afternoon in March. We haven't spoken in months, not since I started spending every free moment with Sophia. Alexander? I hope I'm not interrupting anything important. Victoria. Her voice makes me smile for the first time in weeks. Never, what's going on? I'm in Hong Kong for a few days. Business meetings. I was hoping we could have dinner. In my past life, I declined this invitation. I was too focused on Sophia to maintain friendships. This time, I accept immediately. I'd love that. Tonight? Perfect. The usual place? The usual place is a small restaurant in Central where we used to eat when we were kids. Victoria's family has been friends with mine for 3 generations. Her grandfather and my grandfather started their businesses around the same time. She's waiting for me when I arrive, looking elegant in a simple black dress. Victoria has always been beautiful, but in an understated way. She doesn't demand attention like Sophia does, she earns it. You look good, she says as I sit down. Happy. I am happy. It's not entirely a lie. I'm happy to see her again. And Sophia? How are things with her? In my past life, I spent this entire dinner talking about Sophia, gushing about her beauty, her sweetness, her perfection. Victoria listened politely and never said a word against her. This time, I watch Victoria's face carefully when I mention Sophia's name. Things are good, I say neutrally. We're talking about the future. That's wonderful. Victoria's smile doesn't reach her eyes. She seems very devoted to you. You don't like her. It's not a question. Victoria pauses with her chopsticks halfway to her mouth. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. You never liked her. Alexander. Victoria sets down her chopsticks. It's not my place to have opinions about your girlfriend. But you do have opinions. She looks at me for a long moment. We've known each other since we were 5 years old. She can read my face as well as I can read hers. There's something about her that doesn't feel genuine, Victoria says finally. The way she looks at you sometimes when she thinks no one is watching. Like she's calculating something. What kind of calculation? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just protective of old friends. She's not wrong, but I need to know how much she's noticed. Has your family mentioned anything about Marcus Webb lately? Victoria's eyes sharpen. Why do you ask? Curiosity. He's been very aggressive about competing with us recently. My father has been investigating Webb Industries for some irregular business practices. Victoria leans forward. Why? Is there something we should know? This is my opening. Can you trust me with something confidential? Always. I tell her everything. Not about the rebirth, she'd think I was insane, but about my suspicions regarding Sophia and Marcus. About the patterns I've noticed. About my investigation. Victoria listens without interrupting. When I finish, she's quiet for a long time. How long have you suspected? She asks finally. A few months now. I've been gathering evidence. Alexander. She reaches across the table and takes my hand. Why didn't you call me sooner? Because I needed to be sure, and because I was embarrassed that I fell for it. We all make mistakes when we're in love. Her fingers are warm against mine. But you're handling this the right way now. Looking at Victoria, I realize something I missed in my past life. She's been in love with me for years, maybe since we were teenagers. But she never said anything because she respected my choices. Even when my choices were destroying me. Victoria, I say carefully. After this is over, after I deal with Sophia and Marcus, would you have dinner with me again? Her cheeks flush pink. I'd like that very much. Good. I squeeze her hand. I've missed you. I've missed you too. With Victoria's help, I begin setting the trap for Marcus and Sophia. The Huang family's banking connections give us access to financial records that would be impossible to obtain otherwise. We discover that Marcus has been using offshore accounts to fund industrial espionage for years. But we need more than financial records. We need them to incriminate themselves publicly. I start feeding Sophia false information about a fictional merger. Chen Shipping supposedly planning to acquire a major Japanese shipping company for $500 million. I create fake documents, fake emails, fake financial projections. This is huge, baby, I tell Sophia over dinner. If this merger goes through, Chen Shipping will be the largest shipping company in Asia. Her eyes practically glow with excitement. When will you know for sure? The board votes next month, but I'm confident. We've been negotiating for 6 months. It's all lies, but Sophia doesn't know that. She excuses herself to go to the bathroom and immediately texts someone. Probably Marcus. Within a week, Marcus Webb makes a series of large financial moves. He liquidates assets to raise capital. He approaches investors about funding a major acquisition. He positions Web Industries to compete for a merger that doesn't exist. But I'm not done yet. I plan something that will force both of them to show their true faces publicly. A proposal. I choose the Chen Family Charity Gala for the big moment. It's our annual fundraiser for maritime safety education. 300 guests from Hong Kong's business and social elite. Everyone who matters will be there, including Marcus Webb. I have a surprise for you tonight, I tell Sophia as we get ready for the gala. What kind of surprise? She's wearing a red dress that cost more than most people's monthly salary. Money I spent on her, thinking she loved me. You'll see. I straighten my bow tie. Just trust me. The gala is held at the Peninsula Hotel's Grand Ballroom. Sophia works the room like a professional, charming everyone with her practiced smile. I watch her perform and marvel at how convincing she is. Victoria arrives with her parents. She looks stunning in midnight blue silk. When she sees me watching her, she gives me a small private smile. Marcus Webb arrives fashionably late with his own date, a young socialite who clearly has no idea what kind of man she's with. He makes a point of congratulating me on Chen Shipping's recent successes. You've been very fortunate in business lately, he says with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Hard work and good people, I reply. That's all it takes. Indeed. And speaking of good people, Miss Williams is lovely. You're a lucky man. I know exactly how lucky I am. After dinner, I take the stage to make the traditional speech about maritime safety and education. But instead of the usual corporate thank yous, I have something else planned. Before we continue with tonight's program, I say into the microphone, I have a personal announcement to make. The room falls quiet. Sophia looks up at me from our table, confusion flickering across her face. 18 months ago, I met an extraordinary woman at a charity auction. I gesture toward Sophia. Sophia Williams has brought joy and love into my life in ways I never thought possible. The crowd smiles. Sophia's confusion transforms into anticipation. She thinks she knows what's coming. Which is why I want to share with all of you the most important question I've ever asked. I walk down from the stage toward our table. Sophia's face glows with triumph. Marcus Webb watches with barely concealed satisfaction. Sophia, I say, dropping to one knee beside her chair. Will you marry me? The crowd erupts in applause. Sophia's performance is flawless. Surprise, joy, overwhelming emotion. She says yes through tears that look completely genuine. I slip a ring onto her finger. 2 carats, perfect clarity, a ring that will become evidence in a federal investigation. But as I stand up and kiss my fiancé, I notice something the crowd doesn't. Sophia immediately looks toward Marcus Webb's table. Their eyes meet for just a second, and she gives him the tiniest nod. The nod that says, "We did it. We're almost there." What they don't know is that hidden cameras captured that exchange, along with every other conversation they've had in my penthouse for the past 4 months. 3 weeks later, I host another event. The Chen Shipping Annual Board Meeting and Investor Dinner. It's a tradition my grandfather started, combining business with family celebration. 200 guests this time, including major shareholders, business partners, and media representatives. Sophia thinks this is her victory party. The night when I officially announce our engagement to the business community and begin the process of making her my legal heir. She has no idea what I actually have planned. You look nervous, she says as we get ready. Everything okay? Just excited, I lie. Tonight changes everything for us. She's wearing white tonight. Symbolic, she thinks. The innocent bride-to-be joining the Chen family legacy. Victoria arrives early to help with the final preparations. She's been instrumental in planning tonight's reveal. Her family's security team has installed additional recording equipment throughout the venue. Are you ready for this? She asks quietly. I've been ready for months, I reply. Let's end this. The dinner begins normally. Business presentations, financial reports, discussion of future plans. Sophia sits beside me at the head table, playing the role of supportive fiancé perfectly. After the formal presentations end, I stand to make my closing remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for another successful year. Chen Shipping continues to honor my grandfather's vision of connecting Asia through commerce and trust. Polite applause. Sophia beams at me with what looks like genuine pride. Tonight, I want to share with you some personal news as well. 3 weeks ago, I proposed to the woman I love. Sophia Williams has agreed to become my wife and join our family. More applause. Sophia stands and waves, accepting congratulations gracefully. But before we celebrate, I continue. I want to share with you the story of how we met, because it's not the story most of you know. Sophia's smile falters slightly. This isn't part of the script she expected. I thought we met by chance at a charity auction. I thought our love story was written by fate. But recently, I discovered the truth about how Sophia came into my life. The room grows quiet. Sophia sits down slowly, her face pale. I've prepared a short video presentation about our relationship. I think you'll find it illuminating. The lights dim. A screen descends from the ceiling. What appears first looks like a romantic montage. Photos of Sophia and me together. Happy moments from our 18 months together. But then the video changes. Hidden camera footage of Sophia on the phone with Marcus Webb. Audio recordings of their conversations. Financial records showing payments from Webb Industries to Sophie Wang. Marcus, stop worrying. He believes everything I tell him. Sophia's voice fills the room. On screen, we see her in our penthouse, talking on her phone while I'm at work. The fake pregnancy story is working perfectly. He's already moved me into the penthouse and given me access to his personal accounts. Gasps ripple through the audience. Sophia tries to stand, but she seems frozen in place. Of course I can get you the shipping route information. He keeps all his files in the home office. He trusts me completely. The video continues. Meeting footage of Sophia and Marcus in restaurants. Photos of them celebrating in his apartment. Bank records showing the payments that funded her entire relationship with me. What do you mean, has he proposed yet? Marcus, we've been over this. I need to time it perfectly, after he signs over the company's shares you need for the takeover. By now, the room is in complete silence. Sophia's face has gone from pale to gray. She looks toward the exit, but security guards block every door. The video ends with the most damning footage of all. Sophia and Marcus together 2 days ago, celebrating their success and planning my family's destruction. I think I'll actually miss him a little, Sophia says on the recording. He's so pathetically trusting. Don't get sentimental, Marcus replies. He's a means to an end, nothing more. The lights come back up. I look down at Sophia, who is staring at me with something that might be respect. Did you really think you could destroy my family and I wouldn't find out? I ask quietly. Before she can answer, Hong Kong police officers enter the ballroom. They're followed by federal investigators from the ICAC, the Independent Commission Against Corruption. Sophie Wang, Marcus Webb, you're under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, corporate espionage, and corruption. The arrests are swift and efficient. Sophia doesn't struggle. She just looks at me with cold hatred as they handcuff her. You have no idea what you've cost me, she says. I know exactly what I've cost you, I reply. The same thing you tried to cost my family, everything. Marcus Webb tries to run, but the security team catches him before he reaches the elevator. He's screaming about illegal evidence and violation of privacy rights. The evidence was gathered legally with proper warrants, the lead investigator explains. Mr. Chen has been cooperating with our investigation for months. As they're led away, I feel something I didn't expect. Not satisfaction or triumph, just exhaustion. It's over. 6 months later, the trials are concluded. Marcus Webb receives 15 years in federal prison for corporate espionage, fraud, and conspiracy. Sophie Wang receives 8 years for her role in the scheme. Webb Industries collapses within weeks of Marcus's arrest. Their legitimate employees find new jobs quickly, many of them with Chen Shipping, which is now stronger than ever. The fake merger attempt that I used to trap them becomes real when a Japanese shipping company approaches us for an actual partnership. Sometimes fiction becomes profitable reality. My parents are proud of how I handled the situation, though they're devastated that they welcomed a fraud into their family. My mother burns the fabric she bought for Sophie's wedding dress in a private ceremony. I'm sorry I doubted your instincts, I tell my father over dinner. You always said something felt wrong about her. No, son. I'm proud that you trusted your instincts when it mattered. That took courage. Chen Shipping not only survives but thrives. Without Marcus's industrial espionage, we secure 3 major new contracts. Without Sophie's drain on my attention and resources, I'm able to focus completely on business. But the most important change isn't professional, it's personal. Victoria and I begin dating officially 2 months after the trials end. There's no drama, no manipulation, no hidden agendas, just two people who've known each other their entire lives finally admitting they're in love. I can't believe I was so blind. I tell her as we walk along the harbor one evening. You were always there, always supportive, always real. You weren't ready to see it before, she says simply. Some things happen when they're meant to happen. Do you think less of me? For falling for Sophie's lies? Victoria stops walking and turns to face me. Alexander, you loved someone who didn't exist? That's not your fault. That's her crime. We marry on a perfect spring day in Hong Kong. The ceremony is traditional Chinese, honoring both our families' heritage. Victoria wears a red kipao that belonged to her grandmother. I wear my grandfather's wedding jacket. The guest list includes only people who genuinely care about us. No business networking, no social climbing, just family and friends celebrating something real. Our wedding night is nothing like the performed passion I had with Sophie. With Victoria, everything is honest, comfortable, right. 3 months after our honeymoon in Japan, Victoria calls me at the office with news. Alexander, can you come home early today? Is everything okay? Everything's perfect. I just have something to tell you. I find her in our kitchen, holding a pregnancy test. This time, the test shows 2 clear lines. Positive. We're going to have a baby, she says, tears of joy streaming down her face. I hold her close and think about the difference. With Sophie, a fake pregnancy was used to trap and destroy me. With Victoria, a real pregnancy represents hope and future and love. Our son is born 10 months later. We name him Thomas, after my grandfather. He has Victoria's eyes and my stubborn chin. Standing in the hospital room, holding my son while Victoria sleeps peacefully, I look out at Hong Kong Harbor. The same harbor where I used to imagine building a shipping empire. The same harbor where I once planned to take over my family's business with a woman who never loved me. Now I understand the difference between what I thought I wanted and what I actually needed. I thought I wanted passion and excitement and a love story that swept me off my feet. What I needed was trust and partnership and a love story built on truth. Sophie Wang gave me drama. Victoria Huang gave me peace. Sophie Wang took from my family. Victoria builds with our family. Sophie Wang was a performance. Victoria is real. I learned that the best revenge isn't destroying your enemies. The best revenge is building something so strong, so real, so filled with genuine love, that no amount of manipulation can touch it. The best revenge is living well, loving truly, and creating something that lasts. As I watch the sunrise over Victoria Harbor with my son in my arms and my wife sleeping beside me, I know that this life, this real life, is worth more than any revenge I could have planned. Sometimes the greatest victory is simply refusing to let the people who hurt you steal your capacity for joy. Sometimes the greatest revenge is happiness itself.